This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
Hey, baby, welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Oh, question. This came up on my socials. I was talking about Dr. Jack Morin's 4 Cornerstones of Eroticism. Ever heard of them?
Never heard of them.
We'll get to what those are and why we think they're important and how we play with them in our partnership. Like this, we're playing with our feet right now.
She's touching the bottom of her heel to my pants, and I don't like it.
It's never been a problem before.
Yeah, the bottom of your heel, honey, that's where the dirt is.
Oh, that's where the dirt is?
That's where the dirt and the germs.
Interesting how the aroused mind is so different than the unaroused mind.
Are you in an aroused state right now?
I'm ovulating.
So, oh, got it.
Yeah. I'm in my follicular phase.
Look.
Uh-huh. You're just over there looking like a nice snack to me. So
I don't have time today, though. I don't have any time for sex.
See. Trey is currently
busy.
Using my cornerstone of eroticism, so this is why I feel like now he's tickling me with his
What I do is I hit her with just the slightest amount of indifference. And then this is the thing, too, where if I can actually back it up, if I can keep my word.
God, I would claw. It was like I would hunt after you.
No.
See? Okay, this is why we got to
have a busy day.
About
and
this.
Then what I'll do, quiet please. And then what I'll do is I got some like clear framed glasses on Amazon. And so I'll throw on some, that's like lingerie for her, me just putting on fake like reading glasses. And then it's over. But honestly, honey, I don't have time for any type of.
If you were reading a book.
Can I finish? Thank you. So I don't have any time for any type of like oral sex, penetrative sex, any type of like heavy kissing, like any type of like dry humping, any sexy text messages. I'm probably not going to be able to return them. I may give you a thumbs up if I have time. Let's get back to this one though. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, seeing as you just so expertly gave a masterclass in how to titrate eroticism into our healthy, stable, unambivalent relationship, let me talk to the people. And I want to get your feedback because I really do think this is interesting. And you and I have been starting a really deep dive into educating ourselves more deeply on the reasons why men show up the way they do in the world and the tools and the learning and the education that hetero men have not been receiving for centuries. So we've been kind of nerding out on this anyway, and what is leading to the fear, what is leading to the scarcity. So, okay. I posted about the Cornerstones. I said, sit down with your female body partner and have a conversation about peak sexual encounters, favorite movies that are like absolutely going to turn them on every single time, the things that we remember from childhood. You shared that.
Mannequin.
It
was the woman from Sex and the City.
Yeah, Kim Cattrall.
I was a boy too, and it was a liberated, like sexually expressive woman, and I didn't know what that was. I think I was a boy, like when I saw that movie.
It is a surefire way to start to understand our beloved's erotic imagination, to start building a shared erotic language, which is what you were just doing, is speaking in our language. No one else would have a clue what we were saying. We did. Not only does it truly start to arouse me, it also, I feel so known and so seen, so celebrated for the things that turn me on instead of mocked, instead of told I should be some other way. It is incredible. But to understand these things requires open, honest, curious conversations about past sexual encounters that were highly erotic, past sexual situations that were titillating, that were alluring, that, yes, movies that turned us on that we might be a little ashamed of because, again, of societal scripts. So I was talking about this on my Instagram, and a commenter who I actually adore, who is always very respectful, said he works with men in the dating space, and that most of the men he works with, and he was curious how to overcome this, would be very intimidated by hearing about past sexual encounters of their female partner. that they would feel less than, that they would feel in competition with, that it would be such a blow to their self-esteem that he doesn't know how to encourage them to navigate that conversation, because in their mind, and he was so transparent, shout out, he was saying, if I'm honest too, I think it would be a blow to me if I found out that one of my ladies' peak sexual encounters was not with me. And so he was asking with true curiosity, how do we handle that? And I thought it could be a fun thing for us to explore today.
Yeah, and I'd love to stay in true curiosity as far as like my responses and my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I can start off and then you want to just jump in, or do you already have something immediately? What I would love to turn this kindness, curiosity, compassion is where I'd like to go. I appreciate folks who will ask the real questions, who will put the vulnerability forward and say, I hear you. That sounds like a really brave and great thing to do. This is what would get in the way.
Can you say it again?
I appreciate individuals who come to me from a place of, I can feel the pull towards that. Here's the obstacle that's getting in the way. How do I overcome it? What do I do?
Okay, great.
So I really would love to face this with open-hearted curiosity. So to all of you out there who are also like, yes, you two talk about this all the time, and I don't know how to even have these conversations.
Erotic imagination.
Yeah.
Great.
And past, specifically talking about past sexual encounters that were delicious and titillating, and that they might not be with your partner. Your peak sexual encounters might not be with your present day partner.
Great.
I have thoughts that I think will truly help relieve the pressure. But I'm curious from you if you've ever encountered this, me sharing about a past sexual experience that has made you feel less than, in competition with. If so, why? If not, why do you think? Let's get curious about that.
I can't think of anything. And then if not, why? You were a full-grown adult for many, many years, for like, what, 15 or 20 years before we met? How old were you? 30, mid-30s? I think I was 36, so you were 35. We're a year apart. You're a younger woman. I'm an older man. And
that whole year in 6 days.
Yeah. And okay, so it immediately it's like, well, hang on. She's lived a whole life before I came into the picture, just like I've lived a whole life. And I would love to okay, so certain sexual experiences have shaped my life, just like, which would be logical, that certain sexual experiences have shaped yours. And for me not to be the star of those things before our lives didn't exist together sounds like nonsense to me. And then let's keep going.
Yeah, no, this is good.
For me, can I go piece by piece on this and then come back and then I'm allowed to be a little messy? Great.
Yeah, no, this is just one of our conversations. This doesn't need to be some like teaching moment. I just thought between the two of us, quite transparently, betwixt the two, gentle audience, y'all are gonna know, y'all long-timers are gonna know that if there's one of us that would be more activated by past sexual experiences, it's going to be Lauren rather than Trey. So if you're out there and you are in a male body and you hear me talk about having these conversations and you feel that you probably would be activated, you would feel scarcity, you would feel competition, be listening to me, because I'm the one who was brought up with more of that competition, you need to be your everything for your man bullshit. You were brought up with less of it.
And it was tied with, a lot of your stuff was tied with God and
it was
righteousness and sinning and heaven and hell and the battle between good and evil.
And men being superior. And so I do think that I got a lot of the misogynistic teachings about where women should be and shouldn't be. And I mean, quite honestly, I was telling clients this yesterday, a lot of internalized misogyny within me still.
Gotcha.
One of the things that I'm constantly rooting out is that men deserve more pleasure, more goodness, more wealth, more stuff than women. I mean, I'm constantly like, oh, there's another piece. So again,
Lauren the misogynist. Clip that.
yes.
Clip that.
So if there's like anyone who probably struggles with this more, it's me. You have been such a palate cleanser for me of leaning in with curiosity to explore my past erotic experiences in such a good way.
Cool. So like, yeah, that's a really nice bridge to what did we come into the relationship with and what baggage did we come in, where you were sharing your baggage and I had a lot less baggage when it came to specifically those things. I was raised in Southern California by a single mom and not religious. No, it wasn't a strong thing in the house. It wasn't. And then for me, probably elementary school, middle school, high school, whenever like you learn the concept of a woman's a slut because she sleeps around a lot, and then a man's this is an old term, a man's a player because he sleeps around a lot. One is praised and rewarded, and the other one is shamed. It never made sense to me, like being a young child or a preteen or whatever it was, it just never made sense. And then, as a slightly older child now, it's like, well, it's pleasure, and it's a giant double standard. And I'm not a big fan of double standards, and I never have been. I don't think I ever will be. So I came in with a lot less baggage, and in my 20s and in my 30s, I had a couple of long-term relationships. And other than that, I was single and dating and sleeping around a lot. I was in the hookup culture, which you got to experience such a small amount of, and I put this in quotes, hookup culture after your divorce at 33. When did you divorce, babe?
I mean, I was divorced that same year that we met, but I was officially separated the year before in Virginia.
Were you seeing anybody after you were officially separated? Did you ever like date or see anybody, or did you wait until the actual divorce?
No, I waited until the actual like separation.
Okay.
When I had filed for divorce.
And then that was like official.
But then you have to wait for yeah. I mean, yeah, I waited a long time, but I slept with people. I didn't date anyone. Mm-hmm. Not until you, my darling.
Cool. So those are the bags
I
we
thought
come into this conversation with.
Step number 1, friends, on when you feel this obstacle rise up in your body, do a little survey of when the belief first appeared that about sexual partners and what a bounty or a few or a couple real good ones in your partner's life means about you. I love that, hon, you immediately went to the first time you heard slut and player, beautiful contrast, and how you as a little human were like, man, that doesn't seem right.
That doesn't make sense to me.
So step 1, everybody, go look at your own story. When is the first moment you were also given a script like that? And did you question it? And would you like to question it now? Truly, it's up to y'all. Like, these are our opinions, and this is what is working for us and continues to evolve for us. And it continues to be fun to dismantle this idea, that Trey or I police each other's pleasure.
No,
we're not about that.
I want to stay. I'm just going to repeat it. So we know the theme of this, specifically a man, cis man, how they feel about a cis woman.
Yes.
And being intimidated, or what were the other words? What was the prompt?
Specifically competition. That it would crush them to their core if they weren't winning in this area, if they weren't the best sex partner, if they weren't their wife's or their girlfriend's.
Everything? Fellas, hey guys, it's me. It's a trap thinking that you need to be your partner's everything. It's a giant trap because I think you'll fail. And then you're probably not asking a lot of curious questions on what she wants.
It is such a trap. And it breaks my heart too, because I think it is an impossible task. I think it is far too big a burden. I think it is such a cultural, ridiculous belief that we're to become so isolated and so codependent upon one another that we don't celebrate, yes, the past lovers, the past supports, the community as a whole. There is so much to celebrate in this world when we have comrades and community around us. And the threat that we view past partners as, this breaks my heart. It really does break my heart. I do understand where it's come from, is that, you're going to want your lady to be true to you. And in order to do that, you need to be the star in the sky, the knight in shining armor, her protector, her provider. It's an impossible burden. I don't like it at all. This idea that the only emotion you get to have is that of anger and rage, which leads you to be the champion of all champions, the peak sexual encounter of all sexual encounters. It's an impossible burden. It really is. Breaks my ever-loving heart. Here's a piece of fun knowledge that I want us to explore, okay? Is that Jack Moran's erotic equation is attraction plus obstacle equals
desire?
Excitement. Attraction plus obstacle equals excitement. Here's the other thing. Attraction plus obstacle does not always equal healthy relationship.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's isn't that an affair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attraction and obstacle. Yeah. That's
this
an affair.
is what I want everybody to understand.
Like a hookup or a one-night stand. There's all that shit, right?
A peak sexual encounter actually means nothing about who anybody in a partnership wants to run away and actually be with in partnership. Okay. So my peak sexual encounters have far more to do, what was titillating my erotic imagination has far more to do with the contexts, with the things that set up that dynamic, with the things that were alluring or hard to get to, or there are so many contexts that made the situation erotic. And this is what I always want to tell people in healthy long-term partnerships. I would hope that your partnerships do not actually involve so many of the things that made our peak sexual encounters erotic. I have a very, very unambivalent relationship with you. I have a very healthy, stable, consistent, what did you say yesterday? Not that we just want to spend so much of our time together. We got in bed and we were like, ooh.
I never said that.
Publicly,
like on the record.
He was like, hey.
Nope. I was sharpening a knife at that time.
He was going to watch football and I said, oh, but when are we going to watch our new show, Furious? And you were like, that sounds like more fun. Then you came to bed with me. You can watch football anytime. Healthy, stable partnerships that are full of juicy communication, I would hope, are not full of anxiety. It is a thing that I work with my partners on every day.
Okay, so this is the challenge. I'm a man. I want to know what titillates you, what excites you. I want to know what's been pleasurable. I fully understand that you've had these sexual encounters that have formed your opinions of what you like. Can we try something? Can we play the may I will you game?
Sure. So
I'm going to make a request. Starting now, I would love to know what turns you on. I understand that it may come from a past lover. Will you tell me what has really been exciting in the past? Will you leave out any details on the specific man, like who he is, like what you two meant to each other? Will you focus on what brought such excitement? Will you do that for me?
I will. May I ask a couple clarifying questions?
Of course.
I would love to leave out his name, his where he is in the world these days.
Any specific details
Yeah, well, no, but I would like to add something that I would like to actually include. What we meant to each other is actually an important piece of this for me.
Oh, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
What we meant to each other. I'm not sure. I would love to keep it in my mind, like on a surface level of just like the sex, but also acknowledging that after I just said that, I'm sure that what you meant to each other contributed to the sex.
Because what we meant to each other was nothing official. That's why it matters.
Oh, thank you for clarifying. That's actually okay with me.
Okay. Yeah. It isn't, in this situation, anything I would love to replicate in this relationship.
Okay. That all sounds good to me. If I feel anything come up in like my stomach or gut, can I just say pause?
Please.
Great.
Absolutely.
Do you need? I'm good if I don't need a timer or anything like that. Okay, so what I just did is I just requested a gift. Whenever may I will you, I am requesting a gift, and that's my most important job is to put my wants out there directly, direct route of pleasure. That's exactly what I want, not in some fucking roundabout way. And then Lauren's main job, if she's giving the gift, is to stay within her limits. So again, my main job is to put my wants and desires out there, direct route of pleasure. Her main job is to stay within her own limits. And then my second main job is to respect those limits. So what I could have done a little bit better is when she said like, hey, I want to share this, this, and this, is listen to her a little bit more instead of cut her off.
That was beautiful. What I love about what Trey just did, and I'm happy to actually share things.
Yeah. Can we
want
do it?
to? Okay. But what I love about what you just did is we framed up the direction of the gift. Okay. This isn't for me to just revel in this and get all turned on by my past experience and for Trey to feel left out and on the sidelines of this experience. No, this is to act as a gift to him so that he can improve his erotic understanding of me, so that we can become closer as lovers. With my clients, I will call this a springboard. I always like to say that Simone Biles is the greatest gymnast of all time, and she is the tiniest person in the world. And often to get up onto the balance beam, she jumps on that little springboard. It does not mean that Simone is not one of the greatest balance beam athletes in the world. She uses a springboard to get to where she wants to go. Understanding our beloved's erotic landscape allows us to jump off that springboard onto the balance beam of our shared erotic experience.
Oh, and then I bet a lot of couples go like, why do you need that springboard? There's something wrong with having a springboard.
Yes.
Oh, and that'll set you up for failure.
And again, it's not that you can't get on the balance beam. People mount differently.
A different springboard.
Yes. It is not that this is the only way. This is just a way that is really freaking fun. There's like flying through the air. Like it is not the only way. It's not. It is a way. And for a lot of people, their past erotic encounters gave us a lot of information about what turns us on. And so I'm like, why keep it out? Right? If a great coach was like, but we have a springboard, you can do a fun thing. It makes me excited when people want to consider doing this together. It really does.
I made a request.
Yeah. Okay. So this gift is for you. Is there a time limit that you were like? Okay.
No.
So one of my peak erotic encounters was actually during my time of separation. Up until this point, I had never gotten to experience, and we've talked about this many times on this podcast, the flirting at a bar casually with someone, the being bought a drink, the being someone's interested object, truly objectification. I had never gotten to consensually experience this in my entire life. I was 33, 34 years old. And I had always craved it to be the center of someone's desire. The way I had met my first husband was through a known setup. It was like a dinner party idea. He was never really that into me. I chased him. I pursued him. I made myself less in order to become codependent upon him. It was enmeshment. It was disgusting. So for the first time in my life, I was getting to explore what it felt like to be a sexual being. And so this erotic partner, just started titillating my brain first. There was teasing. There was just erotic space first. There was an in-person meeting at like a local joint. And then there was the buildup that happened kind of on the DMs. I had never experienced this before. Then there was a moment of just like seeing each other and like a shared kiss. And then there was a moment of, could I see you one more time before I go? And that idea that someone could want to see me before they go, before they're gone again. They are just a fantasy partner. They are a blip. They are not going to be present for me. They are not anything I actually need to worry about. He did. He showed up. He got to see me. All of my clothes stayed on in this erotic encounter. I was menstruating, if I believe. And I had been clear, like, I don't know you. And I didn't tell this person that this was like my very first thing post my marriage, but I was the center of desire. I was the thing being moved to. There was secrecy involved. There was sneaking around involved. There was, it was late at night. It was so late at night. I was like asleep when this person finally came to my house. And there was making out and rolling around and orgasms and then bye. And then there was this moment also right before they left where we'd fallen asleep for maybe like 10 minutes before they had to leave again. And I was laying on my side facing away. And I don't know if they woke up. I don't know what happened, but they like ran their hand down the side of my body. And that had never happened to me before. Never.
Beautiful.
And then they were gone. There was no satisfaction. There was no conclusion. There was no relationship that was going to be had. There was none of that. There was no security. There was no safety. There was no, nothing. It was a flash in the pan.
Can I share what I experienced?
Yeah.
Or what I thought about? I thought about if you're a man and you're passing on knowing that, like, what do you love in life? You're leaving it on the table. Do you love meat? Do you love golf balls? Whatever it is, you're just fucking leaving them there. So what good information to have about my partner if I didn't have that already? Mm-hmm. And then I thought, if something happens, a dysregulation in your body about the thought of your person, and I need to preference this, being with someone else before you two were ever in the same universe. I'm not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about independent from each other. That's your work to do. And I don't, I'd invite you to get resourced, and I don't have the resources for you. I'm ignorant to it because my muscles, when it comes to that, I don't know a lot about that. I think you should probably get with a sex coach. Go to sexedforyou.com//free consult.
This is my favorite stuff to work on. I'm not even kidding. I know we usually put that in here, but like, goddamn, it's my favorite thing to work on because I celebrate healthy, securely attached, attuned relationships.
Lauren shared with me, and if you're listening to this with you, life-changing experiences, or an FFT, a first fucking time, a first time of Lauren being pursued in her life, or in her life as a sexual adult. And if that's too much for you to handle as a man, I would really invite you to get curious. My work, your work, our work, as a man, that's your work to do on why that is so activating for you. Again, you're leaving the shit that you love the most on the bone. If one of the things you love the most is your person and sex and really good eroticism.
Thank you, my love. Here's one of the coolest things is that I think we get confused when we assume that Lauren would now like to go find that person and run off with them. Nope. Not at all. It's not what I want.
I'm glad you said that. Because fantasy doesn't have to go into reality.
The ideal fantasy partner is the one who's just out of reach, who can never really be caught. Mm-hmm. Because that's the obstacle that's constantly moving away.
I've been caught. Like we're in a legal marriage in the state of Virginia. Like I've been quote unquote caught. Now I can leave whenever I want to, and so can you.
Yes.
We choose partnership today.
So inside of chosen partnership, I will often hear, well, they have to be attracted to me.
No, they don't. No, you don't.
No.
In a partnership, no, you're not obligated to guys. A woman's like, if you fucking marry a woman or if you're in a relationship and you kick your feet up and you say like, oh, I can eat chips now because I got this relationship thing on lock, you're fucked, man. I mean, you're fucked. What in your life takes constant work? The things that matter? Your job, your lawn, your garden, whatever the fuck it is. It's the same thing in your relationship. If you're trying to put it on autopilot, you are fucked. And because no one will defend you, you're stupid. Or best case scenario, you're ignorant. Which there's nothing wrong about being ignorant, but like stupid men, I don't think there's anything worse.
Esther Perel says, to love is to have, to desire is to want.
Cool. And in my language, in our language, wants and desires are what's my first choice? What brings me joy? For me. Those are wants and desires.
Oh, that's interesting that you say that, because I think that's one of the things that men get stuck on is they believe that by hearing about their wife's peak erotic encounters, they are not their first choice. That's interesting. Glad you just said that.
Cool. It's a vulnerable thing to share.
Yeah.
And so are we celebrating your person for sharing such a vulnerable thing?
By allowing our person to share their most vulnerable thing, their peak erotic encounters. What I want us to do from there is use it as like paint colors to co-create together erotic experiences that are informed by our beloved's erotic brains.
Hell yes. That's why you go to the bar, I meet you there, I show up in a suit, you don't see what I'm wearing. I maybe stand at the other side of the bar for a minute or two. I may ignore you. We may make eye contact, and then I come over. And those little interactions right there, I get laid really fucking well from that. And it's exciting for me. Because it's exciting for you.
Yeah.
And then we do the opposite, where I share my wants and desires, and I share the peak erotic, some of the most exciting things. And then we incorporate them into our lives. What is it? Sex isn't
everything.
It's just a part of everything. It's just a part of things.
It's about.
Yeah. So
it's
better that way.
It is better. It's more fun. Instead of viewing past lovers as competition, why not view them as allies?
Yeah.
Why not be like, thanks, right? So in this situation.
Is it hard for you? You
sometimes,
being the more, this is on record, you being the more misogynistic of both of us. Lauren's a misogynist. You being the more misogynistic one, is it harder for you to like hear about these things from me?
Mm-hmm. It used to be. It gets easier every time.
Why?
It used to be because I had such an idea planted in my head, like many of these male-bodied friends of ours, that I needed to be the best. That if I wasn't the best, you were going to go find better.
Okay.
So sad. And I was not able to do what I had just shared with you, detach and divorce the human from the encounter itself of what it meant to you. What it meant to you. I also have learned to celebrate other humans through this and thank them. There are even phrases that we'll say after a great sexual encounter that are courtesy of past sexual partners of yours. And I have just, over time, through exposure, I have calmed that response of my nervous system. It ain't easy, guys. I'm one of you. Okay? It ain't easy. And yet, I long to be an expert in your eroticism. I long to know what turns you on and to be able to play in that space with you and create opportunities for you that are equally as exciting.
Do you long to be an expert in your partner's eroticism? It's a very good question.
I want to know you.
Do you long to be an expert in your partner's? As a man, do you long to be an expert in your partner's eroticism? Or is it about you? Or is it just, we'll just do it safely? Or is it like, we can't talk about that? Fuck, man. When we started incorporating fantasies about other people in our erotic partnership, something that I always incorporated with shame and you got to keep to yourself and you can't be attracted to other people. When we started to incorporate that in a safe place where it was celebrated, it changed my fucking life, honey. Because something that was shameful and was not to be shared, not to be done, became celebrated. And it's in the imagination. It's in the fantasy realm and then poof, it's gone.
Yes.
It was a fucking game changer for me.
Yes.
And then when I see an attractive woman and we make eyes at the grocery store or something like that, and she looks twice and then she flips her hair, and I could literally tell that she is attracted to me for whatever fucking reason. Guess who I'm most excited about telling?
Me?
You, because it's celebrated.
Me?
It's celebrated.
Fuck yes, it is.
It's not, I'm not shamed by it.
So here, you know what I'm thinking in my head is the kink consultant Amanda Dames, when she was sharing at my event, how incorporating a kink scene where you want to be treated like an asshole, when you want to be spanked and this type of stuff, when you're already an asshole, there isn't that much differentiation. So I need partners to hear me here. If one of y'all's is actually got one foot out the door, is actually operating in a secret space, is actually considering cheating, has cheated, we need to draw a clear line here. The reason I am able to trust you so deeply, my darling, in those moments is that sexual privacy is celebrated here. Your erotic self is celebrated here. But trustworthy behavior is required here.
Oh, yeah, you're still in the ice cream factory then. Okay, sex is, everybody wants sex because it's like licking an ice cream cone. You get the chocolate, you get the nuts, you get the vanilla. Making the fucking ice cream cone, there's nothing fucking sexy about it. You may be in a walk-in freezer having to wear gloves because it's -30 in there and you're fucking dealing with box cutters and shit. Or there's a pallet with 1,200 pounds of fucking ice cream on there and it may crush you if you're not careful. So, yeah, all of this shit that we talk about, the actual peak sexiness and eroticism, it's such a small part of it. You have to be in the ice cream factory and all the machines have to be working and everybody has to be like happy and consenting for you to lick an ice cream cone. So if you're trying to lick cones, my bad, I'll stop. If you're trying to do that and then your factory's fucked up, well, you're skipping steps. That's the nice way of putting it. You gotta you want to have really good sex, you got to figure out your childhood wounds. It fucking sucks too. This shit is hard. That's why most men push it down, forget it, repress it, don't want to talk about it, go to anger, go to rage. Anger and rage are very effective. I don't think I would have had a panic attack on a train if I just went to pure anger. I could have started blaming other people. Could have turned around and blamed my fucking 15-year-old daughter. Instead, I had a panic attack. That's not convenient. It's really embarrassing. And guess what? I'm starting to default to other places, whether I like it or not. And it's a sign of progress.
Yes, it is.
Being fucking messy is a sign of progress. And then there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like it's better this way, but it's like, it's hard. And the marathon in the middle, fascinating. Like that I just figured out about the marathon, because at first the adventure, like the first part of the adventure is exciting and it's new and blah, blah, blah. And then the end, like the outcome is like, oh, I can't wait to get there. And like, oh, I'll get this and like, I'll have that. And then there's just the fucking middle.
The middle.
Which sucks.
I have thought about our buddy Schnarch several times today.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Because Schnarch has this idea that we need in long-term partnership in order to have great sex. I mean, his work is on sex. We need to be able to stand on our self-definition. Trey is defined. I am defined. We are able to have conversations like this from a place of a solid, flexible self.
If you work in construction, it's a really good foundation. That's what she means.
Yeah.
I like this. I'll just be the man translator.
I do.
I'll be like, shut the fuck up.
You'll translate another man. That's good. Okay.
I'll
like
mansplain another man, dude.
Yeah. His concept is, right, that we must be able to stand on our own self-definition so that the other can have their reactions, share their stories, and we're not going to be swayed in the wind.
Easier said than done.
So easier said than done.
Takes a lot of reps.
So much. And so I've thought of two things. One, that's necessary. Two, an beautifully defined self also has a clear understanding of our worth and our value. So I need everyone to hear me. If you are in a partnership that is itself cultivating uncertainty and untold anxiety because you're not sure if your partner is coming home tonight, you're not sure if you can trust your beloved because of this instance and that instance and repeated untrustworthy behavior, this, sharing erotic stories, is not your work to do in the world. Your work to do in the world is what Trey was saying, to get curious on your childhood wounds, to understand why you are staying in a relationship in which you are not being treated with respect.
You got to go to the factory.
You got to go to the factory. I am not saying that this is conversations for the people who are harming one another through untrustworthy behavior. That's not your work in the world. Your work is to get into couples work or individual coaching or therapy and find out why it is that you're behaving that way, why it is that you are untrustworthy, why it is that you feel you need to protect your heart in this way, shape, and form.
What about the men who don't want to do that?
Then I need the women to have enough self-respect to say, no, thank you. There is no rush, but I'm not going to be here in that relationship space.
And then if you're a man, you don't have to do that. And then what you can do is you can get out of that relationship and then hop into a new one, usually with like a younger woman, so you don't have to ever change. And then you can repeat all of your old behaviors and patterns for, 4 to 7 years. And then you can go get another one so you don't have to change. So you can be like, oh, then this one's much better. This one worked out more. And then, yeah, she could be the source of all of your... you can just blame her. You can just blame her for all the shit too. And it's fine. And then you can distract yourself with bullshit. Your choice, man. There's been times I've wanted to leave.
Of course.
It's like I could get the fuck out of here. And then actually like feeling myself do it, I would be so sad. Because you're the mirror. Like you're the reflection that holds me to a higher standard. And then you're growing and evolving so fast that, like, if I don't keep up in my own ways, I'll be left behind. And I don't want to be left behind. I'd rather know what's going on in your erotic imagination. I'm just here for the sex. Baby, anything else before?
Oh, I was going to wrap it up.
We wrap up?
I was going to turn it and just, you mic dropped, babe. You mic dropped. Say no more words. I have so many words in my head always. Say no more words. Trey just mic dropped. Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast. Maybe next time we can do a follow-up kind of on, making some ways to ensure your relationship is solid and secure enough to even have these conversations about the erotic imagination. Because I think that came online to me, that the reason I am not dysregulated by so many of these things is because of your character. Even in New York, when we had that misunderstanding and my brain told myself a story, I was able to bring myself out of that story I was telling myself and consider what else could be true by none other than your track record. If I didn't have a track record of trustworthy behavior, what am I putting it up against?
And then during the misunderstanding, I told myself a story, and it took me a while to get back to curiosity, and it's just a good learning lesson. Where it's like, fuck, man, default to curiosity, ask curious questions instead of trying to defend yourself. Because it took a full day to get back to each other, and it fucking sucked.
We haven't even talked about that on this, have we?
Let's skip it. We don't have any problems.
No problems.
We don't have any problems. You're the one with the problems.
But anyway, I seriously, guys, thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast with Lauren and Trey. Take what you like, leave the rest. These are our opinions and our opinions only. You have a right to self-determination and informed decision-making. If you do want to talk about these things in more in-depthly, I don't know. Go to sexedforyou.com/free consult. Again, these are some of my favorite things in the world to explore, and we won't be exploring them till we're sure that your base is secure, that you and your partner are a safe haven for one another. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.